Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Active Retro. My name is James, and this is episode 6 of Secondhand Finds. Don't quote me on that. Just real quick, I want to take a moment and thank all my viewers and subscribers for being patient with me the last couple of weeks as I went on an unannounced hiatus. Unfortunately, just some real-life stuff popped up real quick that needed attended to, and that's all done and over with. So here we are. I've been really itching to make some new videos. Just because I have not been making videos does not mean I have not been buying stuff the last several weeks. And let me tell you, boy, have I ever been buying stuff. I found a lot of really cool, neat, vintage, and newer things over the last month. And so that's what we're going to be, that's going to be the focus of the next several secondhand find videos. So like I said, this is episode number 6. There's no long version, there's no short version, there's only this version this time. Also, please apologize if you hear the thunder outside. It's storming right now, and it's kind of ridiculous. Right, so guys, let's go ahead and start. First things first, my wife and I, Ms. Active Retro and I, went to a community area sale, Memorial Day weekend. And I call it community area sale. Literally, that's what it was. It was literally 7 or 8 sales spread among a 10-mile radius on back dirt country roads, like seriously single-lane mountain roads. Kind of ridiculous, but it's a good area and stuff I've found good stuff in before. First house is where I got all this stuff here up front. Let's start in the front. First thing are these really wonderful ET stickers, lenticular stickers. Pretty sure this one is a bootleg. Pretty sure this one is legit. Maybe? I don't know. Don't quote me on that either. Just don't quote me on anything in this video, if you could, please. That'd be great. But these are the 2 stickers. They're really great. They're unused. They're in good shape. Second, we have Masters of the Universe Battle in the Clouds illustrated book that was included with purchase of a figure. This is one of the very first books that was actually you could actually get from the very original line run of the He-Man line, of the Masters of the Universe line by Mattel. Artwork on this thing, in and out of it, is just absolutely great. There's all the co-cells. There's just the beautiful, absolutely beautiful illustrations. It's in great shape, no mustiness, hardly, just a little bit of wear here along the edge. My personal favorite thing about this entire thing here is the back page, where you just have all this killer artwork for the figures. And I love more Masters of the Universe characters and vehicles available later in 1982. I don't know why 35 years later I find that so funny, but I do. So, very cool. More ET stuff here in the back. When life gives you the chance to buy 4 ET paper plates from 1980-something for 10 cents, you do it. These are in great shape, obviously have not been used. And there are 4 more ET paper plates than I had a month ago, so I'm happy about that. Next, we have this bag of figures here, random assortment figures. There's a couple miscellaneous things in here. I think this is maybe a Golden Girl or generic figure. She is toast. Got a couple Western guys. But the reason why I bought the entire bag of figures were for these 2 guys. We have Tote, and we have the Cairo Swordsman from Kenner's Raiders of the Lost Ark toy line. Very rare that you ever see any of the Indiana Jones figures, and so I had to pick them up. This guy's name is Tote. And I gotta be honest with you, prior to making this video, prior to looking him up actually, I didn't know this guy's name. I only ever knew him as the evil Nazi that was not Belloc, or also known as the guy that got his hand burned by the medallion. In fact, if you actually knew what this guy's name was prior to watching this video or having to look it up, please tell me, because I can't ever remember where they actually said this guy's name in the movie. Next, we have the Cairo Swordsman. He's missing his sword, so he's just a guy in the bathrobe, I guess, then. And, by the way, Tote, he is missing his cloak. But otherwise, they're in pretty good shape, and I'm happy with them. For 25 cents, you can't pass those up. I'd buy those for that price any day of the week. Next, lastly, from that seller, we have this giant bag of G.I. Joes, actually. I think there's about 15, 20 figures in there. I honestly didn't count them yet. Real weird prices on this guy. He had, this vintage stuff that I bought. Then he also had a bunch of older WWF figures by LJN, the rubber wrestlers. And the weird thing was that they were beat to hell and back. I mean, they were, really filthy, dirty. The paint was all stripped off of them. And he wanted $5 a piece. But for this bag of G.I. Joes with, weapons and everything, they're in killer condition, he wanted $5 for the entire bag. So I could not leave there fast enough. Now, I won't go through all the figures, but there are some really good ones. You have Crimson Guard, Destro, you have a couple of the Dreadnoks. The cool pieces, are these two 1982 straight-armed Cobra Officer and Cobra Grunt figures. This guy, his crotch and his legs are in the bag. He just needs a new O-ring. That's not a problem. I don't believe their weapons are in there, but otherwise they're in pretty decent shape. So I'm going to patch them both together. Well, fix this guy, put him back together, and he'll look good. The funny thing was there was actually only one Joe in the entire bag, and that here was Tripwire. All the rest of the guys were actually Cobra. But this guy here, he's in killer condition. I can't say that enough. Beautiful condition. This is a really interesting variant of Tripwire. He was actually exclusive to, I believe it was a Hear and Play, kind of book set, to an audio recording and a booklet. You could only get this figure in that set. He is missing his backpack, and he is missing his landmines and his metal detector. I couldn't think of the word metal detector, so I gestured. This is metal detector, apparently. But he's otherwise in really great shape and really neat find. Something probably never going to come across again. So that's it for those bag of G.I. Joes. I probably will be doing more pictures with those G.I. Joe figures here in the near future on my Instagram. So check out my Instagram if you haven't already. I've been trying to post more toy photos on there. So the last thing we have here on the table, but not the last thing we're going over, is this box of stuff. It's Isaac's stuff. Now, when you see what's in this box, it's really kind of disheartening. Because what I got was the leftovers, actually. Isaac apparently decided to sell some of his stuff last year, and somebody else got to it before me, or other people got to it before me, and picked out a lot of the different stuff, but they left all the parts in the bottom of the box. And you notice, if you collect toys or you're into toys, you probably know that sometimes different parts of things can cost more than the actual complete item, just because sometimes people lose those parts. And things get ridiculous. But there's a lot of Power Rangers, a lot of Transformers stuff in this box, and there's some really nice pieces in here. So let's just go through this real quick. Oh, by the way, the woman was asking, what, a quarter a piece on the different items in the box. I asked her what she wanted for the entire thing. She said $5. I said, okay. So, what do we have here? Oh, we have a Transformers Armada Cyclonus. That's a terrible figure. I'm not even going to talk about him. Next, we have the Crimson Insectazord from Power Rangers Ninja Storm. This thing is in great shape. The problem with this particular mold, this particular Zord, is that these clips always break off down here. The inside is completely hollow on this figure, and these entire back sections can break off. So to find this thing in that nice a shape, I was happy with that. I would have bought just that for $5. We have some Bionicle bits, more Bionicle bits. Book. Here we have part of the Power Rangers Dino Thunder Megazord. Far I'm aware the electronics work. I tested those out earlier. Those are the only parts to the Tyrannosaur in there. We also have the Terrazord in here. We have some Power Spear. This goes to the Mini Zord from Thunder Megazord set. This actually goes to the Giraffe Zord from Power Rangers Wild Force. That's actually a very expensive piece on its own. This is really random. This is the sword, I believe, to the LJN's Panache Place giant Voltron they had back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. This is about, what, maybe 9-10 inches long, give or take. Actually in pretty nice shape. This actually isn't chromeware down here. There's just like a piece of tape or something. It's not broken, just there's something around it. So I'll have to take a look at that. I'm actually I kind of want to put this with my new Playmates Voltron, the legendary Voltron I have. So I think that'll look cool with that. More Bionicle stuff. Another Power Spear piece. This goes to the Mini Zord. The Mini Zord is complete, so that's really cool to have that. This goes to the Ninja Storm Megazord. The other part to the Navy Crimson Insectazord. Really bummed the rest of that wasn't in there. This goes to, I believe, the Trendmasters Voltron, this smaller blazing sword here. And I say that just because there were these wings in here, and these plastic wings that definitely go to a Voltron, a black line. I'm 99% certain it's a Trendmasters version just because of how small they are and how they're lacking some of the different... I don't know, it just seems like a cheaper quality. I'm pretty 99% certain this goes to Trendmasters. It would make sense if this goes to the Trendmasters version as well. That's Power Rangers Wild Force. More Power Spheres. This is the tail off the Crocodile or Alligator Zord, whatever you want to call it, for Power Rangers Wild Force. I think this part has been repaired at one point, but the rest of it's intact. This is a really nice piece in really nice condition. The sword for that Megazord, the Predazord. It's always broken up at the different joints. This is a wing to the Wild Force Falcon Zord. This is for Armada Megatron. This is for the Saw Shark Zord from Power Rangers Wild Force. Honestly, this piece here is probably worth 5 times what I paid for the entire box, so good deal. And then we have some parts to Armada Megatron, Armada Optimus Prime. We have the weapon to the Power Rangers Thunder Megazord. That goes to Armada Jetfire. Jolt, the Minicon from, what is that? Armada Hotshot. And then we have, well, I think there's 2 of them in here. Yeah, absolutely. These are actually the tails that go to the, or tail rather, that go to the Power Rangers Wild Force Lunar Wolf Zord. These tails are really hard to find. Everybody loses them, so to find 2 of them in the box, how we ended up with 2, not sure, but happy about that. And I think that's about it for all the pieces. There are some other loose missiles in here that go to different Transformers, Power Rangers figures. These go to the Wild Force Polar Bear and Black Bear, respectively. And we got some more Armada Transformer pieces in there, but that's it for that box. So all in all, really awesome, just really awesome box. I was happy to have found even just the leftovers from that. So thank you very much, Isaac, for selling all of your stuff. The last thing, real quick, real quick, I want to go over. You may have seen this picture on Instagram. I bought a bunch of blow molds. Now, I really don't, blow molds, they aren't my thing. But in the past couple years, a good friend of mine, you know who you are, he's kept on telling me, hey man, you should look at blow molds. You shouldn't pass those up. You should actually look at them. You should buy them. And I'm like, all right, fine. He finally wore me down to the point where I actually pay attention to them now. And we went to the first house, and this guy had a bunch of different Halloween-themed blow mold decorations, yard decorations. And I couldn't get a hold of my friend. There was really no cell service, and I couldn't look any prices up online. Just because, I'm not really big and familiar with them. I know some can be worth a bit. But usually, whenever I find them, I usually talk to my friend first, see if he wants anything, give him first shot at it. But he couldn't get a hold of me, so I just picked some out at random. They were, $3 each? And it turns out I actually did really well. There's some cool pieces here. This up front, it's actually the Haunted Mansion or Haunted House. It's by Union Products, made by designer Don Featherstone. All of those pieces marked with his signature are actually worth a decent chunk of change, more than what I paid for it at least. And then we also have some other really cool pieces here. The Frankenstein, the really dapper looking skeleton. So a couple pieces are going there for my friend, and I probably will be letting go of a few pieces. But I can tell you that the Scarecrow is actually going to be going on my front porch this year next to a stack of hay bales. So Mrs. Active Retro would not give that one up. More power to her. That's it, guys, for this pile of stuff that I picked up this the past month at the couple of yard sales. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought there was a lot of really cool stuff in these boxes, just a really weird assortment of stuff. Even if that box was a parts box, I am still so happy that I got that all these different Power Ranger parts, some really cool pieces, and the ET plates and the G.I. Joes. It's just a really weird day for yard sales. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, there are going to be a lot more secondhand find videos dropping over the next couple days, weeks. Just some really neat things I found. I'm really excited to show and share with you guys. So if you want to stay up to date with that, please follow me on social